Good afternoon. We're going to start with the performance of the ambitious card. We'll give the deck a good shuffle here. Alright, now if you please go ahead for me and select any card. Okay, take a look at it, show the camera.
I have two.
You have two. Okay, take a look at it, show the camera, I won't look. Okay, are you good to go?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it from you. Okay, so you've selected the 8 of clubs. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the 8 and we're going to slide it into the middle just like that. Now the 8, it's funny that you would select the 8 of clubs because the 8 of clubs is the most ambitious card in the deck. And anytime you hide the top of the deck from view just for a split second, the 8 will always jump to the top of the deck. That's just a strange coincidence with the 8 of clubs. I'll show you this again. Maybe you're thinking, I didn't actually put your card in the middle. Well, there we go. Now your card's clearly in the middle. Let's take a look, just to make sure. There's the 8 of clubs, alright? Now we'll just use half the deck for this one. If you please hold your hand out for me, I'll give you this half the deck, and we're going to take your 8 of clubs and push it right into the stack. And like I said, as soon as I hide the top from view, just for a split second, the 8 will jump to the top. Not the top of my stack, though. It jumps to the top of your stack. Go ahead and check. There you go. So the 8 has jumped to the top of your stack.
Yes, it did.
We'll try this. I'll show you this one more time. We just take the 8, we slide it right into the middle. And again, as fair as I can possibly make it. But if I hide the top of the deck for a split second, again we see the 8 jumps right back to the top.
That's amazing.
Again, maybe you're thinking, maybe your card never actually goes into the middle. Well, this is hard to disagree with. Look at this. We're taking your 8, pushing it right into the middle of the deck. And again, with just a snap of the fingers and hide the top of the deck for a split second. There we go. Right back on top. Once again, the 8 of clubs. I'll show you the most convincing thing I've ever seen this 8 do. If we just give the 8 a little bit of a bend, just like this. Not too much, but just enough so you can tell that it's bent. We take that bent card and we slide it right into the middle of the deck. Now you know, beyond any shadow of a doubt, exactly where that 8 of clubs is, don't you? And I'll go right up close to the camera so we can see this here. You can see the 8 of clubs in the middle of the deck, but just a snap of the hands. We hide the top of the deck for a split second. And now if you look, you'll see the bent card has actually risen to the top. And yes, it is the 8 of clubs. And that is the ambitious card. Thank you very much for watching.
That was really cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, man. That was cool. Oh, how do you do that?
Everyone, now we're going to get to the explanation of the full routine of the ambitious card. I take it you've already watched the performance, so now I'm just actually going to take the 8 of clubs back out of the deck, just so we can use the same card for the explanation. Oh, right on top of the deck. Unbelievable. And I've been shuffling it for like 10 minutes. Okay, so anyway, how it starts is you have them select a card, and select any card. They select the 8 of clubs. Okay. Whatever card they select, once they're showing everybody else the card, you're turning around, you're doing the... Take a look at it, show the camera, I won't look. This thing. The flipping over of the top card on the deck. As soon as you turn around, you say, okay, so you've selected the 8 of clubs. Okay, so you've selected the 8 of clubs. We're going to take your card, turn over both, slide the original top card, not the 8, into the middle, show the 8 has jumped back to the top. That's step 1. That's phase 1, as they call it in Magic. Every time you make a card, or every time you make the card jump to the top, it's called a phase of the trick. Alright, so that's number 1. Number 2, what did I do there? That was this one, I believe, where you said, now the 8 is really going to go into the middle. You're getting your break. You say, there's the 8. Slide it forward like this. You're doing this thing on the back of the deck. You square it up. Slide it into the middle of the stack. Of course, it's not really their 8. Their 8 is right on top here. You give them this half of the deck and you say, hold on to this. Go like this. Say it's going to rise to the top of the stack. It doesn't, of course, because it's on the top of their stack. And there you found the 8 again. Not the top of my stack, though. It jumps to the top of your stack. Go ahead and check. Gather up the deck. And while they're checking out the 8, whatever, because they're holding it now, you have an excuse or a good cover for this again, so you do this one more time. The 8 has jumped to the top of your stack. Put the 8 on top, you do that whole same move again, slide it right into the middle, bam, it appears on top. So now that's the third phase. You've made it jump to the top 3 times. Now we're going to do the Marlowe tilt. And it's actually pretty cheeky. You're saying it's hard to argue with this. Well, this is hard to disagree with. And you go like this to show that it's actually going to the middle, and then you take it out again and say your 8 is actually going into the middle of the deck. Of course, it's not. So that's why I'm saying it's cheeky, because you're actually putting the 8 second from the top, and you're trying to stress how clearly you're putting it in the middle of the deck. And again, show it on top. And then as soon as you do that, now the 4th phase has been done, then you close with the 5th phase by bending the 8 and doing the bent card routine, where now the 8 is still on top and it's a different bent card in the middle. And bam, the 8 rises to the top one last time. The bent card has actually risen to the top, and yes, it is the 8 of clubs. And that is the ultimate ambitious card. A couple other things, or at least one other thing you might want to do, is get the cards signed if you have cards to waste, because it's so much more powerful. Because, you know, if you're showing a learned audience, and if they select, that's a bad example, if they select the 3 of clubs, there's a chance you forced it on them and there's more than one 3 of clubs in the deck. But if they sign it, there's 0 chance that there's another card like that in the deck. So signing it is definitely worth your time, if you have cards to waste. And a little later I'll post another video of another thing that I do in the ambitious card routine sometimes, which is really, in my opinion, the most impressive phase you can do an ambitious card. Say they select the 5 of clubs. You say, here, we're clearly going to leave the 5 of clubs right in the middle of the deck. You can show it's not on top, it's not on the bottom, and you go through and you say, look, here it is right here, the 5 of clubs in the middle of the deck. And then you draw an X on the back of the top card. And you say, here, we've drawn an X on the back of the ace of diamonds. And then you go through again, you say, see, here's, even after, sorry about that, that happens every time I record a video. Let's just pause for a second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to answer the phone. So, back where we left off. Case in point, they have their card signed somewhere in the middle of the deck. They put an X on the back of the top card. You show the X, or their card still rises to the top, so you have the X in the back, and you just wave your hand over. As soon as you take it away, there's another card on top of the card with the X, and it turns out to be their card. And then you take the signed card and you take the card with the X and you put them together and you just slap the deck and you squeeze them right together. You take the card with the X off and their signature's on the front, and they've both turned into one card. And like I said, it's so strong because you can clearly show their card in the middle as many times as you want, the entire time that you have the X on top of the deck. So, that's coming soon. If you have any questions about the ambitious card that I've shown here, feel free to email me or message me or anything, or leave me a comment, anything at all, and I will be glad to help. Alright, thanks very much for watching. Enjoy the ambitious card. Remember to practice, 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 practice. Alright, good luck with it. Thanks very much.